What's good? Terry the Electrician here. And I'm out here in these streets, putting in that work. On my way to a service call, well, actually finishing up a little job where I installed a couple ceiling fans, and now I'm putting in an overhead light in like the living room where there is no light. So I'm going to be cutting. I like cutting sheetrock, but I don't patch. Anywho, on that note, I just wanted to briefly kind of talk a little bit about, construction versus service. Originally when I started my electrical business back in 1999, I was a full service electrical contracting service, which means I was doing, and it was commercial, industrial, no residential, which means I did, full scale electrical construction, commercial build outs, anything from commercial renovation to, new construction commercials, light commercials, that type of thing. The industrial side was basically, like control panels, control work, because that's what I specialized in the military, was motor and systems controls. Said all that to say this. Today my business is solely focused on residential electrical service and installation. Okay, which means any type of electrical repairs that's needed in a home, I do. Installations, any type of electrical installations that is required in a home, I do. For instance, custom lighting, smart home devices, your Ring cameras, your Google cameras or whatever, your Nest thermostats, and even appliance repair. I even do some appliance repair and installation. I install garbage disposals. I install dishwashers. I install wall ovens. Because, if it has an electrical connection to it, I made it my business to learn how to do that, to install it, service and repair. I also do, like repair for dryers and washing machines, and a little bit, not too deep into that, but I do some of that. Dryer vent cleaning, things like that. So on the service side, like I said, when I started my business in 1999, it was fully commercial, like I said, what we call light commercial construction. We did restaurants. I did my first contract was like with the VA hospital, where they was constantly doing expansion at the VA hospital here in Atlanta, and I was able to get a small contract for a section where I was actually replacing some smoke detectors in a hallway, and it was a decent sized contract because it's all government job and prevailing wage and all this kind of stuff. And that was my first, contract after I started my business. Second, I had another little deal with the VA where I installed some lightning arresters on the top of the building. One of the newer buildings during the expansion, where they needed lightning arresters installed, and I did that around the top of that building. Today, like I said, I'm not doing any commercial anymore. Eventually I moved into a little bit. I moved into commercial service because I hooked up with a commercial property management company where I did a lot of build out and service for these people. I did that all the way up until last year. Back in the early 2000s, during the housing boom, the real estate boom here in Georgia, man, we did 90% of what we did was residential renovation. The fix and flips until the bubble bust and basically about put me out of business. So again, said all that to say this, renovations and stuff like that, and build outs. That's what I consider construction. No longer in the construction business. Service and installation and residential only. I still get calls for commercial service. I still get calls for commercial construction. I turn them down because I don't do it, and I don't want anything to do with it anymore. The money. Here's the thing. Money wise, yeah, the checks, the jobs, the contracts, and the checks are bigger, but so is the logistics, the management, the material and labor costs. Everything is more. So it's all relative. You know, you got a lot of people out there that tell you, oh man, you know, you should be doing commercial. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. You know what I mean? We got very good at doing salons. Like I said, this one commercial property company we work for has a lot of, he had a lot of commercial properties, strip malls and stuff like this. And we would do the what's called a white box for the spaces, and people would come in and lease the spaces. Well, if they didn't have a contractor to do their build out, we would turn around and do the build out. So yeah, we were double dipping, which is nothing wrong with that. But because we knew the property so well, we would get first dibs. We didn't always get them, but in that network, there's a lot of salon owners. They're building a lot of salons and where they do like the eyebrows and stuff like that, and the waxings. And we did a lot of those. We did a lot of those, man, 4 or 5 years ago. And like I said, yeah, the thing is the margins. Yeah, like I said, the contracts will be bigger or whatever. Not always, but the profit margins were just ridiculously thin. I mean, I made a living. I didn't make much. I didn't make any profits. Just to be 100% honest with you. So I came to the conclusion at the end of 2019 that I was going to shift my business model from all of that to strictly focus on residential service and installation. And it was the best thing I could have done, man. It was the best decision I made since I started my business. Hands down. The number one best decision I made. Because everything is different, man. I mean, like I said, the money, my target market, I deal with a lot of more affluent homeowners. Okay, so today I don't get a whole lot of price objection. You know, back when I was doing those, especially when I was doing those fix and flips, man, they beat me down to the core on the numbers. You know, it's always the cheapest bid. You know, the cheaper they can get it. You know what I mean? So they can make all the profits. I understand you running a business, so you know you're in business to make money. But they seem to not realize that, you know, I'm in business to make money as well. You know, it ain't just about you making all the money. I'm trying to make money too. Now ask me if they gave two shits about that. Of course not. You know, but at the end of the day, the best decision I made business-wise was to change my business model from construction, especially commercial, to service. From a construction-based business model to a service-based business model. There are many other reasons why a service-based business model, in my opinion, is far superior to a construction-based business model. I may get into that in later videos, but for now, that's all I got for you. Stay tuned, and you know, check out the next video because I'm gonna have some more good stuff for you. That being said, you may or may not know what's coming next, but here you go. Deuces. I'll holla.